Welcome to Reviewing Stuff, where I talk about video games, movies, and albums. This time, I'll be talking about the first superhero movie of 2016 that everyone is going crazy for. I'm of course talking about the merc with the mouth, Deadpool. The hype that was generated for this movie was insane. There were plenty of videos that featured Deadpool himself, as well as the movie getting a huge advertising campaign that spanned billboards, TV, and the internet alike. Well, the hype certainly paid off when it was announced that the movie made about $135 million in its opening weekend, which is a pretty big deal. But the question remains, did Deadpool live up to the massive amounts of hype that was generated around it, or did it crumble under the weight of the high expectations that fans had for it? Well, it's time to find out by talking about the plot. This movie tells the story of Wade Wilson, a mercenary with a heart of gold and an interesting sense of humor. He ends up falling in love with a prostitute named Vanessa, and their love is certainly one for the ages. Certainly a love story better than Twilight. And they also have lots and lots of sex, as the movie will show you. Wade then finds out that he has cancer in several of his vital organs. He gets recruited to a program that promises to cure his cancer as well as giving him superpowers. He agrees to it and ends up getting powers that regenerate his body. However, the only downside to it is that he has extreme scarring all over his body as a result of it. He gets pissed off and vows revenge against the people that did this to him by becoming Deadpool. The storytelling in this movie is interesting. He does his thing, killing people and making jokes, while also explaining how he got to this moment via flashbacks. It's an interesting way to tell the story, and I definitely got invested because of it. The action is very well choreographed and just looked badass. Blood and guts all over the place for the most part, and some damn good fight scenes. I even like how the CGI was done in this movie. There were moments where you really just couldn't tell what was CGI and what wasn't. The comedy in this movie is very well done. It's everything that a Deadpool fan would expect and much more. Fourth wall breaking moments, crude jokes that would make any conservative parent blush, and a lot of pop culture references to movies such as X-Men. The only complaint I have about the story is that there wasn't more to it. It definitely gets me really excited to see what else they have in store, and really gets me hoping that the sequel comes out that has Cable in it. Now that we've talked about the plot, it's time to talk about the characters. The characters in this movie were very well done. I personally loved that Colossus was in this movie and just how well done he is. He's not just a powerful mutant, he's also a gentleman that has a heart of gold and sees the good in everything. He doesn't see Deadpool as a villain necessarily, but as someone that could use his powers for good, and even tries to get him to join the X-Men. Negasonic Teenage Warhead is definitely a good addition to this movie, and I definitely look forward to seeing what other roles she's going to have in future X-Men or Deadpool-related movies. Even though she didn't appear that much in the movie, I still liked her interactions with other characters whenever she was on screen. Then, of course, there's the main man himself, the merc with the mouth, the guy that everybody paid to see, Deadpool. He's a simple character that is done well. He's a wisecracking, single-minded, violent personality that also has a softer side to him. He not only tends to have a soft spot for women, but he also treats them with respect. For example, when he goes on his first date with Vanessa, he treats her like a person, like someone he wants to get to know, as opposed to just some sort of sex object like she's probably used to being treated. His sole motivations for his actions as Deadpool is to get revenge on the people that did everything to him, but to also get everything back to normal so that he can face Vanessa again. Deadpool's love and devotion for Vanessa is part of what makes him such a likable character. Yes, we laugh at a lot of his jokes and comments, but in a sick and twisted way, we actually want him to succeed. We want him to kill the people that did this to him and to get back with Vanessa in the end. Speaking of her, Vanessa is a good character as well. She compliments Deadpool very well, and she's just as bad-mouthed and sarcastic as he is. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the acting. Everyone did a good job of portraying their characters and were pretty believable. It was their performances coupled with how likable the characters are that made their performances such a delight to watch. It seemed like everyone was having fun playing their characters, which made it more fun to watch them. I especially have to applaud everyone's delivery and their lines. Some of the jokes wouldn't have worked as well as they did if they didn't deliver them in the way that they did in the movie. Not only that, but when they delivered their lines, it actually seemed very natural and not forced. Now it's time to wrap this chimichanga up and slap a rating on it. Overall, Deadpool is definitely a fun movie to watch that keeps the laughter going with some feels along the way. It's a nice way to start 2016 with superhero movies, and that's why I'm giving it the S rating. It's a movie that I would recommend to anyone that likes a good comedy that has solid action and is just a good time in general. The actors were also very fun to watch, as well as everything else going on, and that's why I'm so excited at the possibility of a sequel. Well, that's it for this episode of Reviewing Stuff. I hope you didn't get too much blood on you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.